Did you know it's been almost 15 years since Todd Howard from Bethesda first showed the Elder Scrolls V Oblivion to the public? Well, I didn't actually watch the original presentation because I was only 12 years old at the time it was released. So today we'll be watching the original presentation together, and it's actually very interesting because Todd Howard shows us how advanced the AI for Oblivion was intended to be. And it actually really genuinely blew my mind just how ambitious the Elder Scrolls V Oblivion was.
That is a bad puppy.
He's still barking, so she gets pissed. Holy crap! So advanced, in fact, that Bethesda had to dumb down the Radiant AI system because NPCs would end up with crazy ways to resolve situations if left unchecked. For example, on one occasion, an NPC's role was to rake leaves. But one NPC wasn't actually given a rake, so he couldn't do his job. So, understandably, in order to solve this situation, he murdered the other NPC gardener and took their rake so he could do his job. So if you've ever wondered why the NPCs in Oblivion act so strangely, you'll probably enjoy this video because it will shed some light on why it happens, as well as revealing a bunch of other features that weren't actually added into the final game. But have you been lagging in games recently or getting blurry YouTube videos? Well, it may be due to your internet provider throttling your data. Today's sponsor, Surfshark, are going to help you solve this problem and much more. Surfshark is a virtual private network VPN for your phone or any desktop browser, and you can even share your account between unlimited devices. Surfshark will change your IP while you're surfing the web to protect your identity and passwords. And while you're gaming, it will encrypt your data from your device so your internet provider doesn't know how much data you're using and so cannot limit you. You can even access country-locked content from Disney or Netflix by changing your location to unlock your favorite series. And if you use my code ESO, you'll actually get 83% off plus 3 extra months for free. Surfshark even have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to trying this out yourself with my link below in the description.
Hi, I'm Todd Howard of Bethesda Softworks, and welcome to our demo of the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion.
Here we go.
Last year marked the 10th anniversary of the Elder Scrolls, a series that has grown in popularity over that time.
The 10th anniversary of the Elder Scrolls was in 2005. We're already at the 10th anniversary of Skyrim, and I really wouldn't be surprised to see the Elder Scrolls 6 release in 2025, which will be the 20th anniversary of the Elder Scrolls series. That sounds like something very Bethesda to do, but we'll see.
Culminating with the release of Morrowind for the PC and the Xbox in 2002. Millions of gamers have been waiting to see the sequel, and we're really excited to show it to you here on this video preview for the first time.
Now it's like hundreds of millions.
The key to each Elder Scrolls title is reinvention. We actually start over each time. This takes a while, but we feel it's essential to the series and its popularity over that decade. So with Oblivion, we wanted to start fresh. We wanted to create for a whole new generation a game that captures those things that excite people about role-playing games in the first place. Setting, the action, the heroism, being able to choose their own path. We set out to create the RPG for the next generation. So we looked back at all the games we had done from Arena to Daggerfall, Morrowind, and asked ourselves, what can the future of games be? Not just RPGs, but all games. How can they entertain? How can they go to the next level? We hope you like some of our answers. We've been working on this game for 3 years. We've never been more excited about a project. We hope you enjoy it, and let's jump right in. We built Oblivion from day one to be a next-generation game for both the PC and the Xbox 360. We've always tried to make our worlds come alive visually, but Oblivion takes this to new levels. Here are the results. This is where the game starts, like our others, in prison. You are a nameless hero. It's up to you to determine who you will be. We use several types of texturing on every surface. Diffuse maps, specular maps, normal maps, and parallax maps. All of these together on a next-gen GPU create some unparalleled visuals.
This was a long time ago.
This is all rendering in real-time, true HD. Real-world physics. True dynamic soft shadows.
Big thing back then. Really impressive back then.
You can even see the shadows cast through this rib cage here.
Nowadays, no one mentions any of this stuff. Even in the tech demos.
This detail carries over to every object in the game. Our artists have painstakingly modeled over 9,000 objects.
God damn, that's a lot of objects.
Throughout the first part of the game, you'll be escaping from this prison and by your actions, determining what kind of character you will be, a warrior, a mage, a thief, or anything in between. This is a wide open game, you choose your own path.
Boris, lock that door behind us.
Very true.
Yes, sir.
They nailed that, truly.
They're dead, aren't they?
We don't know that, sire. The messenger only said they were attacked.
No, they're dead. I know it.
My job right now is to get you to safety.
I know this place. The prison?
Yes, your majesty. Beneath the Legion compound. We're headed for a secret passage.
know this
known
word for
only to
word.
the guards. No one can follow us through here. What's this prisoner doing here? This cell is supposed to be off limits.
Usual mix-up with the watch.
They changed the male voice actor, though. He's completely different to the actual game. Big improvement, because this guy doesn't sound as good.
Never mind. Stand back, prisoner. We won't hesitate to kill you if you get in our way.
Prisoner, stand away from the door. Over by the window, now.
He sounds a lot older, doesn't he? Like an old prison keeper.
No sign of pursuit, sir.
Good.
Stay
Let's go.
put,
We're not out of
prisoner.
this yet.
You. I've seen you. Let me see your face. You are the one from my dreams. Then the stars were right. And this is the day. Gods give me strength.
You'll recognize the voice of Patrick Stewart there. He's just part of an all-star cast that's assembled for this game, and you'll hear
Boom.
more about those actors in the future.
Assassins attacked my sons, and I am next. My blades are leading me out of the city along a secret escape route. By chance,
Such a
the
great
entrance
intro to
that
a
escape
game,
route
isn't it? I
leads
absolutely
through your
love
cell.
it.
Oblivion features over 50 hours of recorded dialogue, all lip-synced in real time. The voices fill half of the game's
I am your
DVD.
emperor, Uriel Septim.
Oh, I never thought of that, but there was a big story about how Bethesda were trying really hard to get extra memory capacity on Xbox to launch Oblivion, and him saying that half the dialogue takes up half the memory on the DVD of the game, like that really opens my eyes just to how many constraints Bethesda had to work with on this title.
Grace of the gods, I serve.
You never think
Tamriel
about
as
that
her
because,
ruler.
you know, as a user,
You are a citizen of Tamriel, and
It's
you
crazy.
too shall serve her in your own way. You will find your own path. Take care. There will be blood and death before the end.
love it. Really sets the mood at the start of the game. I'm interested to see the things that got cut from the game. I'm sure we'll see a few in this demo. Well,
Looks like
actually,
this is your-
the spell symbol down here, that spell doesn't exist in the game. So that's
lucky day.
one
Just
detail.
stay out of our way.
This was my childhood, this game.
Let's jump ahead. We've always wanted to create real forests. They're part of so many great fantasy settings. It's also one of the most difficult things you could try to do in a game. This was not possible in a previous generation. All of this is being generated in real time by the game. Our forests are not hand-placed by an artist.
All procedurally generated. We might see this again for Starfield, by the way.
Our staff spent some time at the University of Maryland Geology Lab studying how soil erodes, how rocks form, and how trees grow. We have the game create that for us.
In the next game, they've already said they're using photogrammetry technology, basically taking photographs and scanning the realistic environments and putting them within a game. Kind of like we saw with Kingdom Come Deliverance. So, a massive step up, but also Todd's been talking about procedural generation, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it in Starfield.
And it all animates with the weather.
I spent countless hours in this forest.
Oblivion takes place in Cyrodiil, the capital province of Tamriel. It's 16 square miles, and half of that is covered by procedurally generated forest. All of it is open for you to explore as you wish.
I remember a lot of the forest being quite empty, though.
Forest
Convenient
creates some
deer.
amazing gameplay spaces full of creatures to hunt, like this deer, whose meat will provide stat boosts for you. So you can kill him, take his meat, eat it.
True. Though the stat boosts were minimal. You could use it in alchemy, though, I believe. It was like restore
You can also
health.
pick ingredients out of the plants and use them to create your own powerful potions through your alchemy skills. You could even take the pieces of these mushrooms, mix it with the deer meat, create your own potions. Oftentimes you can get lost, so what we've done with the compass on the bottom is point out cool locations for you to find, like this dungeon up ahead.
They improved that with Skyrim as well, which is really cool to see. You can see a lot of the design
This is an
elements.
ancient elven ruin, built thousands of years before man walked the face of Tamriel.
Kind of come into themselves with Skyrim compared to where they started with Oblivion. Like, you've got stamina, health, magicka, all of that in the bottom there. So they just changed the HUD up a little bit between the games.
They're often protected.
Wait, is that the elf Todd Howard? I think it is. Alban Corneus. I believe you can find Todd Howard in the game Oblivion. In fact, I've got a video, I'll link it down below if you've not heard his voice acting yet. It's
We're
definitely
striving
worth
for that
watching.
true kinetic feeling of guys bashing each other with swords. Little blood never hurts either. Let's head into this dungeon.
Little blood never hurts either. He's a bloodthirsty man, Todd Howard, isn't he?
We've created an all-new combat engine that combines melee, defense, and magic into one system.
I did love the Oblivion combat
The
system.
game has over 200 dungeons, all handcrafted.
Especially how spells worked. Now, these dungeons
By
were a
tapping
tile
the
set.
attack button, I can do quick attacks. If I hold it down, I do power attacks. Blocking is also under my control, and the moves you do are governed by which way you push on the stick and your character's stats.
Makes sense. It's so dark in here. Sorry about the gameplay being so dark. This is the best quality I could find. God, these zombies, man. We two-hit everything, man. Still got health left.
You can also play in third person.
Everything dies in 2 hits. Oh, boom. I mean, third person was a huge thing, right? Because this was the first Elder Scrolls game you could play in third person. They haven't... I mean, yeah. I don't know if they'll keep that through. I think fans kind of expect it now, but it's so much extra work.
Lots of good minute-to-minute gameplay in our dungeons. There's a lot more dangers other than just the creatures.
What? That's not in the game. That got cut. Gee, that's so cool. All the physics elements like that pretty much got cut. They do have some traps, but they're pretty simple in comparison.
Another button lets me use magic.
The fire spell wasn't that powerful though. Oh, so this... Oh, that's cool. It like blocks your way and there's a gas chamber. I don't think the poison gas didn't do any damage to it though. The big pillar traps do exist, with spikes on the ceiling.
This is the heart of the dungeon, these ancient elven power crystals. The elves use these crystals for power that you can also use when you find one of these ruins.
There's a lich
Magic,
shard.
melee, and defense all come together.
He tried to block the spell, which isn't possible. I think he's got God mode, or he's got like 50,000 health, because the health doesn't really go down at all. And he 2-hits everything in the game. Probably just because it's a demo, right? They're just showing, like, you know, what the game's going to look like.
In this part, we'll
working
look at
on.
how systems combine for some cool new stealth gameplay. This is your journal. You probably didn't even notice the RPG system underneath until I pulled this up, and that's intentional. Your character simply improves as you play, getting better at the things you actually do. There are no experience points.
I do love that system, though. It's so immersive.
I'll equip my bow and arrow here. You can see
I remember it being quite annoying when you'd like want to test different things out and you'd level up your character, meaning your overall level would increase. And then if you had low combat skills, you'd start to really struggle because the enemies would get more powerful, but you'd stay weak in terms of combat.
the quiver on my back. And the arrows
Very
even
nice.
get removed from your quiver when you use them.
They do.
Not all characters are sword-wielding, magic-casting battle mages. Some rely on stealth.
Boop. Little showing off the physics system again. I think the stealth system...
Real-world physics stick these arrows into the correct surfaces, and not into others. They'll bounce off stone, stick in wood, stick in flesh if you choose.
Very cool.
You can even pick them back up, and the physics reacts accordingly.
Very nice. There's so many details like that, you know, like I did notice, but you take them for granted back then, like this was the first sort of game to do it. Or was it? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Ah yes, the log traps. There was something down there that
I'm
died.
going to go to third person. Using the shadows to my advantage, I can sneak through this area.
Heavy armor.
The eye in the middle of the screen tells me that the creatures up ahead can't even see me. There's even special stealth moves you can do with the bow.
I think it's actually Pete Hines playing through this. He recently told a story about it. But apparently they reran the whole thing like so many times to get it perfect.
They're cooking a rat here. You can take his meat too, but the deer is probably better for you. Looks like these two have a trap set up, but they can't see me, so let's try something else.
Dude. I mean, that's great, isn't it? Just showing off, throwing an apple through the trap to set it off. I love little details like that. Oh, Jesus. Even he can see the ogre in front of him. He'll die in 2 hits though, so he's fine. Oh no, 3! Oh my god, 3 hits! Good down. It's a strong ogre, that one. They didn't mess around. I remember standing on rocks trying to get away from those.
Let's take a look at the other side of the game, our new Radiant AI system. It allows NPCs to have full 24/7 schedules. These NPCs are not scripted. We give them general goals, and they figure out on their own how to accomplish them.
They were pretty scripted.
This is the western city of Coral. There are 9 main cities in the game and dozens of smaller settlements. Over 1,000 NPCs live in Oblivion, all with their own schedules and jobs. Cities are a great place to start a lot of your quests. Each city has its own unique shops, good for trading, breaking into at night, making it your own.
Breaking into? Nice.
Good morning.
The NPCs also have dynamic conversations. These are based on your actions and what's going on in the world. It's a great way to pick up info.
Nilos, hello.
Oh, wait, so this is interesting. That NPC said the other NPC's name. That never happens. They do have dialogue and conversations with each other based on what quests are active and what you've done so far in Oblivion, which I absolutely loved. It was very immersive. But they never say each other's names, I assume because that would be so much more voice acting, and you'd have, like, I don't know, maybe 5,000 different names to put in the game, and that would take up additional space on the disc. Maybe that's why they didn't do it.
Good to see you, Morris. What news have you heard?
The news is bad. Rumor has it there has been an attack on Kvatch. They say the Daedra attack in great numbers.
Grave news indeed. Perhaps my axe can be of use.
I would imagine so. Goodbye, Nilos. And good luck.
New topic, Daedra attack. And you would indeed get quests like that from overhearing conversations, which I liked.
Hello. What can this humble bard do for you in these
My characters
troubling
just
times?
learned a new topic based on what they were talking about. I'm going to ask him about
I
that.
wish I knew more about it. Strange gates have appeared, and Daedra swarm the Legion soldiers. They say the streets run red with blood, and the Daedra will soon overtake the entire city. If you're good with a blade, they could use you there.
So now I have a quest.
Yes.
Gods protect you.
This is a really natural way of doing this. You overhear a conversation, learn a new topic, and ask someone about it. Let's head into this bookstore.
So that was clearly scripted, though.
We'll see some of the other things the Radiant AI allows.
Okay. We'll have a look at Todd. Let's have a look.
Oh, hello. I was actually just about to lock up the store. Is there something I can help you with?
Topics that I don't know the information about yet are colored in gold.
If you're looking for books, you're in the right place.
I asked about Coral, now that topic is gray. This tells you that if you ask it again, you'll get info you already know, so you can quickly see what topics you can learn something new about. This is often based on how much someone likes you. You can use your speechcraft skills to make them like you more. You can admire them, bully them, even tell jokes.
Bully.
By moving the cursor around and kind of
It's
read the
actually
subtle
bully.
cues on her face, what she might like. Let's try the
Jesus.
joke.
That's a good one.
I don't think... Did their face actually change based on what you hovered over? I genuinely don't remember. I remember as a kid not understanding the system and literally just like, you know, smashing the A button around the circle until they maybe liked me or didn't like me, and then bribing them for bones. So it turns out the NPCs' faces actually do change when you hover over them, and I've been playing Oblivion for several years and never actually realised this.
Really? Interesting.
Don't waste your flattery on me.
An orc in a party dress, I love it.
So now she likes me more.
God damn.
Everything I've heard is horrible. Creatures coming from magical gates, whole cities being destroyed. It's awful. The whole thing is terrifying, actually. Would you mind staying around for a while, just to keep me company?
The words you choose in dialogue also affect how they feel about you.
Why would I
There's
stay
no
in this
reason to
dump?
be rude. You can leave now if you want.
I'm only kidding.
Oh, silly me. I should have known you were only teasing. Please, come on upstairs with me.
The game tracks every NPC and how
Pretty
they
full on.
feel about you. Making friends is a good strategy, but killing them could be too.
I don't know if we're just friends, Todd, at this point. We've walked into her house and she was about to close it, and now she's invited us upstairs. My god.
You're a good dog.
Wait, it's standing on its hind legs. That doesn't happen.
Now be good. Mommy has to practice.
Even Thunder here uses rating AI. She's decided she wants to practice her marksman skills, so she's picked up a bow over here.
Wait, what?
She's decided she needs ammo, so she equips the quiver.
Wait, NPCs
And
never
she
did
can
that.
practice her skills. The same skill system governs her. And
She missed.
she sucks.
Yeah. She's missing all her
Terrible.
shots.
Just terrible. I need a little pick-me-up.
So she
And
drinking
they'll
some
even detect potions in the environment if they need them. So she's going to drink this potion. It's going to increase her marksman skill, have the same effect on her that it would have on me if I drank it.
What?
It automatically raises her skill, and now she's good at this activity. And that just works through the system.
Dude, that's crazy cool. That was never in Oblivion.
Are you hungry? Is that why you were so
She's
grumpy?
picked up the deer meat here. The NPCs can pick up items. They can leave them for other characters or creatures they
Mum's
like.
gonna get some reading done.
Reading AI allows Thunder to detect the deer meat. He's going to eat it.
What?
And just like if I ate the deer meat, it's going to give him a stat boost. He's going to run around more. He has more energy.
What?
They'll take breaks, sit, read books, use items in the world. Oblivion has over 400 books, many of which raise your skills.
Wait, no, wait. Like that wasn't in the that wasn't in Oblivion. None of this made it into the game. The AI was so dumb, but this showcase really shows like the extent of what they're going for. The only game I've ever seen do this in a way that really makes sense and is very believable is probably Kingdom Come Deliverance. That game blew my mind in terms of NPCs just looked like they were alive with their daily cycles and activities. Sometimes though, and what I think the reason is that Oblivion didn't have this advanced of a system is the same reason that when I was talking to the developers of Kingdom Come Deliverance, all the issues they had with this system, like a lot of the NPCs were way too intelligent for their own good. So they would end up doing like these crazy activities or things that would just get them killed. Then sometimes like a main quest NPC would like, I don't know, be walking along on a daily horse ride, see a random event of a bandit, run off into the countryside and try and kill the bandit, and then end up dying. So you could never do or start that quest. And there's some quests in Kingdom Come Deliverance that actually still suffer from that issue because of their system is just so dynamic, which I absolutely love. But I think it's one of the reasons, especially back then, the technology wasn't up to it. And it probably led to a bunch of quest breaking, so it was removed.
I said Mommy is reading.
They can even cast spells too. She's paralyzed Thunder here.
What? She got pissed?
They'll eat if they need to. How they get the food is up to them. They can steal it, they can buy it, they can grow it.
Is this scripted, though? Or is this like she's making all these
Sleep
decisions
when they want
right
to.
now?
During certain times of the day, always good time for Thieves Guild folks to break in, or for vampires to do other unnatural things.
That is a
Ooh.
bad puppy.
She's still barking, so she gets pissed. Holy crap!
Should better go. I'm not feeling like myself at the moment.
We should. Let's get back to that quest. See what happened at Kavach. Bigger weapon may help.
She yeets the dog and we just rob her weapon. But those items weren't tagged as stealing, interestingly, because we're
Equip
friends.
the claymore here.
Just yeet on her while she's sleeping. Now, I actually found some fantastic examples from different people who worked on Oblivion while it was in development about the NPCs' Radiant AI being too clever for its own good. So let's just take a look at these. In one of the Dark Brotherhood quests, you can meet up with a shady merchant who sells skooma. During testing, the NPC would be dead when the player got to him. Why? Because NPCs from the local skooma den were trying to get their fix, and they didn't have any skooma left, and were killing the merchant in order to get it. Another story involves a guard who was so hungry that he left his post to go and hunt for food, and the other guards followed him. At that point, seeing no guards in the city anymore, many of the town's less responsible inhabitants went on a thieving spree. Granted, some of these stories should be taken with a pinch of salt, but programmer Steve Mester did confirm that they did have to specifically stop some NPCs from attacking one another, which I think is just fantastic. Having a system that's unlimited like this does create a whole wealth of issues in anyone trying to design any kind of narrative quest experience, which I know Warhorse Studios experienced with Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is why some NPCs and characters had to be made essential, otherwise you literally just couldn't finish the main quest line. But apparently at one point, Bethesda was going to release Oblivion with a toggleable option for the full Radiant AI system. However, it didn't happen, obviously because anyone who toggled it on probably would have got to the point where Oblivion was just uncompletable. But let me know in the comments, do you think they should have released the game with that feature? So I'd actually just left the inn and I found an Imperial Huntsman standing outside of it. Not paying much attention to this, I then carried on walking through the countryside and soon found a dead deer, which actually has a steel arrow in it that the huntsman was clearly using to kill it. She'd also looted it for meat and food, so some of the AI things actually stayed in Oblivion, which is kind of cool.
This is my fast travel map. So even though the world is huge, you can select anywhere you know about in the map and instantly fast travel there. This gets you right to the fun.
Wait, what's up? What? Such? Well, look, there's a town here that doesn't exist.
Fast travel there.
Look, this... So Anvil Kvatch, which gets destroyed, obviously.
This gets you right to the...
There's this town up here that has a road going to it, Broom across, called Such. There's actually a fort called Fort Such, which I think is in around the Gold Coast, north of Anvil. But Such as a city doesn't exist. There must have been an attempt at making it a city, but it's just a ruin.
Fun.
Interesting. You can't fast travel from inside though, Todd. Oh, wait, okay, we can. I think that whole thing was scripted though. So if we look on the same map of the finished game, you can see Kvatch just over here, Anvil just over here, and then Fort Such is actually just here. So let's go and have a look, because you can see the main road has also been removed here. So this is Fort Such, and as you can see, there are actually some ruins around it, bigger than any other ruins, that suggests potentially a city did once exist here. However, it is now massively overgrown. Not too far from the keep of Fort Such, you can actually find an estate as well, which has some very interesting quest lines around it. Was this once part of a city? Or a farmstead outside of the city? We don't know. This is Lord Drad's estate, and it's not very far from Fort Such at all. One of my favourite things about Fort Such, though, was the fact that there was a secret entrance just outside of it over here.
In the game's main quest, the Emperor has been killed, and the gates to Oblivion have opened. You alone must find his lost son, or the whole world will fall.
Martin, where are you? They're in Kvatch, it's very dark.
We never even knew what hit us. They were inside the city before we knew what was happening. Another gate just opened. We'll take the fight to them this time. To Oblivion!
Where's the Oblivion gate, Todd?
Show me the Oblivion gates.
We haven't made them yet, I guess, because we can't see anything.
We can use the help. Let's go.
Their swords are like lightsabers glowing in the darkness. Looks like they have silver swords. So dark, man. Come on, yeet it, Todd. Oh, jeez. Got blood in it now, look. Mate, the combat and the music for it just brings back memories. Why is he not attacking? Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeeting this Daedra now. Big ass Daedra by the looks of it. He just hits it once and then flees for his life.
That's the last of them. Come on.
There's always an issue, by the way, if you died in the tech demos. I remember when I was working with Warhorse Studios on Kingdom Come Deliverance, we'd have like members of the press in the room every hour. We'd show them the demo and then they get to play the game themselves. And you know, it was like the same thing again and again. Absolutely exhausting to do that. But quite often, like, you know, there'd be certain issues or things that would happen in the tech demo and we'd have to solve them each time. It was quite exciting and interesting. And like another patch coming through from the office that we then need to update all the computers for.
You dare challenge the power of Oblivion?
Damn, he's like a giant. Oh my god, he like one hit killed him. Come on, fight him. Did no damage. Trying to block in there. This is sick. They never made them twice the size because the door frames are too small, I guess. That was sick. He looks so cool as a giant, man.
Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
Give the video a like if you enjoyed the E3 reaction video to the old tech demo. We might even go back and do Skyrim. I can't believe it's been 10 years since that actually came out. It's crazy. I mean, that's one of the things that inspired me to start a YouTube channel. So thank you so much for watching, and if you want to check out Todd Howard's voice acting and how you can find him in the game, I'll leave that video linked below. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.